Okay, we'll get a few opening comments on the game, then we'll take the questions.
Well, I opened with a lot of respect for Kent State going into the game and just as much respect coming out of it. You know, I thought they were really a good football team, very disciplined, very physical, really good brand of football. I always tell our kids, when you turn on the special teams tape on Sunday, you find out who you're playing. And we thought they were a really good football team, and they proved that today. We also had played the entire game without punting the ball once, and really had 4 turnovers when you consider the fake punt included on that. So you're not going to grow up and mature. This was a growth week for us. We really talked about growth the entire week. I was very pleased with how our guys approached the practice and the games and the leadership. I was really proud of how it came out in the second half and got a 3 and out, and then the offense had a great drive all the way down. We just didn't cash it in for a touchdown. So we had some costly penalties and turnovers that hurt us, but our team got better today. And that was the key for me, to say, did our team get better today? And I can honestly say we played a good opponent and we got better. With that, I'll open it up.
You said during the week that you needed to work on your composure muscle of the team. Did that happen today?
Ooh, a lot.
Yeah.
I had to, I know. So I had about 5 guys come over to me, and they tried to give me a composure card that they keep in their back pocket. So, you know, I was frustrated there with Lads. Probably a mistake to field the punt or not fair catch the punt, and he knows that. Nobody's more disappointed than Lad is, but that started it, you know. Then you're going to have a fumble every now and then. That's part of football, but make good decisions when the ball's in transfer, in kicking situations, and we didn't make a very smart one there.
Can you explain what is the composure card? Is that something that they give to you? What is
Composure.
that?
Oh, goodness. The water knocked over. We keep our composure card in our back pocket, so we can apply it anytime we want. And we work and exercise that muscle all the time, and it hasn't happened this year. It got to happen several times today, and I thought the kids got to flex that muscle and use it. You don't get a muscle stronger without using it, right? So we certainly got to use it today. I probably need to work on mine for sure.
How'd you feel like your conditioning held up in your first 4-quarter football game?
I was good. I mean, we worked really hard Monday, Wednesday, sometimes even Thursday with the conditioning level. It was probably a little hotter out there than maybe the players expected. I think they went into it thinking it was going to be cool, but there wasn't a lot of shade. And I thought that, you know, they had a lot of guys go down banged up with injuries, and we came out of it pretty good.
What do you attribute the slow start and uncharacteristic turnovers for you guys in the first half?
I didn't think we had a slow start. We didn't punt. So when you don't punt, it's hard to say you had a slow start. Defensively, we did some good things, forced some guys out. I think you attribute it to playing a good football team. You know, games aren't easy. I think you guys may have a preconceived notion of a team, but we have the actual tape, and I had a lot of respect for them. I really didn't think we started slow. I thought we kicked some field goals where we need to score touchdowns.
Kirby, what was your impressions of Bear Alexander and some of the other guys with Jalen out?
Well, I had to see it, you know. Like, I saw he made the play, batted the ball down. There were times I didn't even know he was in there. I knew he played more snaps today. He practiced his best week of practice this week, so we felt like he was going to be able to play more snaps. And we thought that if they drove the ball on us and they went tempo, we would need to play more guys. And Trey did a good job rotating those guys through. Hey, Bill Norton got to play a few more snaps today, so that was good. We're increasing our depth.
What do you say to Lad when he's having such an uncharacteristic game?
Just that I love you. You know, I was upset with him there. Really, I was more upset after the punt, not the fumble, because the fumbles happened. But the punt was more decision. You know, the fumble was something else. But there's nobody that feels any worse than Ladd, right? And we need Ladd. We're going to go where we need to go. Ladd's a big part of our offense. He's a big weapon for us. And he's also, you know, people don't know, he's dealing with a foot injury, so he's not able to practice the same volume. So when you don't practice whatever your reps is, or 50 reps in a practice, and he gets 15 or 20, you know, he doesn't get as much ball security work. He doesn't get hit as much. So we got to do a good job making sure he can practice, and we're not asking him to do too much.
Kirby, it looked like Kenny got banged up.
Yeah. He had a thigh contusion going into the game, and he said he got hit on that same thigh again. They did a good job of cut tackling. They chopped us some. Several guys got hit, you know, low on the tackles there, and they do a good job of being forceful with it. And we had a couple guys we had, I think, 3 or 4 guys coming out of the last game with thigh contusions, which Kenny has that as well, but we think he's going to be fine.
Kirby throwing the 2 more rushing touchdowns. Just how dangerous is it to make drop when you've got him wherever you can line up on the field and hand it to him on the
Yeah, what a weapon he is, what a tough character he is. He makes you defend the whole 53, right? So when he comes in motion, the expectation is I got to stop the sideline, and it loosens them up inside for some softer runs too. You know, when you run for 250 and throw for 250 or something like that, you're doing something right.
Kirby, I know you don't see, you can't look at the big picture in college football, but is there a player more dynamic right now than Brock in college?
You just said it. I don't know that there is because I don't get to see it. You know, I don't feel like I've seen many games this year, but it's hard for me ever to do comparison. But for what he does, I mean, I don't think people understand what an incredible blocker he is, and he doesn't get to do that much. And the other incredible player out there is Darnell. You know, if you go back and look at Brock's biggest plays this year, Darnell's been a big part of that. And I was so proud and happy to see him. You know, the first play of the game, he's wide open, and the play was to go to him. And Stetson took a shot, being aggressive, and Darnell was there. The very next play, Brock gets a touchdown, and Darnell's celebrating. He's the first one in the end zone to go celebrate with him, and his block sprung him. And again, Darnell's blocking combined with what Brock does on the perimeter and even the catch Darnell made today was pretty incredible. So the package of those two, they complement each other really well.
3 rushes, 3 touchdowns. When are you going to move him to the running back room?
I don't know. He's practiced there. He's had to because we've had concerns there at back in terms of staying healthy. But he can line up and play about anywhere.
What did Dejon Edwards continue to show?
Toughness. I mean, he's the one guy now consistently that breaks tackles. He's hard to tackle. He's low to the ground. He's like a ping pong in there and just keeps going. I thought his run game really came through for us in the end when we knew we had to run the ball, and they knew we had to run the ball. He's an incredible toughness guy, and he works every day really hard.
Where would you like to see your defense improve from this game? You know, giving up only 10 points in the first 3 and then 22 in this one. Where can they grow?
A lot of places to improve. The same places we could improve when we gave up 10 points. You just didn't see it. You know, they did a good job in the RPO game. We didn't leverage the ball properly on the sideline twice. They had 3 first downs at halftime, but we had a slow start. So, I take it that we did our job. We just got to keep improving.
How many kickoffs has Nolan Smith caught this year, and will you be telling him to fair catch the next one?
I was holding my breath on that one, buddy. I was proud of him because he says that he doesn't have the best hands out there, but he did catch that one, and he even got a little extra return yards. So he'll be showing his kids that one for a long time. He stays out extra and catches kicks each week, so that's why we do what we do.
Stetson, first snaps in the fourth quarter of the season, how big was it for this offense to see them get a touchdown on a penultimate drive and then run out the clock there on that final drive of the game?
It's good. I still think that we need to see a real, a drive of what's like we got to go win the game. That was more of a protect the lead maybe kind of drive, but I felt like he played better kind of as the game went on. He had a couple passes that he wishes he had back early. He missed some guys, and that's frustrating for him because he wants to be perfect, and we don't ask him to be perfect. We ask him to be the best version of himself.
2 straight weeks, coach of the other team faked up a punt on you.
Yeah.
How concerning is that right now?
Well, it ain't concerning. I mean, I'm concerned every week by a fake punt. When you're a heavy favorite, what does the other team think? I got to steal a possession, right? So what do you work on all week? Can't steal a possession, and we spent just an enormous amount of time, and we're actually in our prevent the fake call because it's 4th and 1 or inches, and they did a good job. We had somebody lose eye control, somebody had him man and missed him, and we got to do a better job. It's unfortunate because the defense deserved to stop there, but we didn't stop.
I think one of the players mentioned that part of the post-game message was it's not always as bad as it seems or something like that. What was that kind of like from your perspective, and how does that play into the standard kind of playing your job?
Well, I don't know. I didn't talk anything about it's not as bad. I told them I thought they played really hard and really physical, and they played a really good football team. And when you're honest with your team, they believe you. Like when you walk in on Monday and you say, hey, this team's really good. They might be better than when we played. We got to practice well. And then they go practice well. They listen. And after the game, you're not going to go back and say, well, guys, this team stinks. I'm not. That's a good football team. They won their conference last year, and they got a really good conference. They played 2 other ranked teams really tough. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Kent State and the coach and the coaching job they do. So I'm not down about where our guys played. If you turn the ball over 4 times, you're going to be in ball games like that. So we got to prevent that first.
How important was it, though, to be able to deal with the adversity this early in the season so that you can continue to grow and improve?
Well, I'm glad we had some adversity. You know, you could probably argue it wasn't enough. I mean, you had, you know, whatever, 10-point lead there. I mean, the adversity to me is overcoming those turnovers and going out and making stops, sudden change, making stops. The red area stop was really big for the defense, but their defense came back with a big red area stop. So I think you gain confidence when you play in games like that. And like I said, I got a lot of respect for Kent State.
How similar is their odd stack or something you might see later on in the year against a team like Mississippi State?
Well, they didn't play it the whole time, so they were in and out of it. You know, going into the game, we expected them to play at a higher percentage, and they didn't. They played more 4-down than we expected, which doesn't affect us. We play 4-down every day, so and they're not a true stack team. They move around and do some different things, and they do a really good job of mixing it up. You can tell they've studied some other defenses and do a nice job, but their defensive coordinator will tell you too, he still gave up 550 yards. I mean, okay, so like it's not like it's all relative to what you expect. I mean, we can't turn the ball over, and I thought our offense executed really good based on what their defensive plan was.
Jalen Walker got in there and blocked.
Yeah, it was big.
What have you seen from him throughout this year?
Proud of him. You know, he got taken off punt team a couple weeks ago for not getting this guy, and he didn't pout, he didn't complain, he didn't go in the transfer portal, he just kept on fighting, and Darius got a little banged up, and Darius Smith, and Darius was going to start on it, and then we stuck Jalen back in there, and lo and behold, he makes a big play and blocks the punt.
You guys had 1 sack through 3 games. Today you had 3 sacks by the half. One of your players after the game said like it was something you had been challenging them to do. Were you happy with the pressure today? At least that's a positive takeaway.
Well, it's a positive takeaway for the stats, but again, I can't get into stats. They gave us an opportunity to sack them. You know what I mean? Like they dropped back, they had some RPOs. I mean, we haven't had a chance, and they gave us a chance, and we capitalized on it. But I'm not like, we haven't been preaching sacks to our players. We've been preaching fundamentals and execution.
That was such Jamon Dumas Johnson's play. I think he had 2 of those sacks, and he had a couple tackles for loss at halftime.
Yeah, I tell you, he's practicing really good right now. He's slowly becoming that vocal leader of the unit. He commands respect the way he practices. The walkthroughs before the game, man, I love the way he's maturing, and he's getting more confidence. You know, I don't want to comment on how he played, but it sounds like he played good based on those statistics you just gave. But he practices the right way, so it doesn't surprise me.
You warned a lot about this team, and you're a 45-point favorite, and it had nothing to do with that. But you warned about this. Just your thoughts on Kent and what Sean Lewis is doing with that program, playing 3 big programs on the road in 4 weeks. Yeah,
I can't imagine what he's played, and then to flip it over. Now he's got to go play his conference schedule and do that. They're going to be tough in that conference because of the teams they've played. But their kids play with great toughness and resiliency, and they hit, they strike, they don't run from contact, and that's SEC football.
Take 2 more questions.
Malachi Starks he's played well the first 3 weeks. There was a couple times where he pulled him over on the sideline and talked to him. What were some of those messages like to him?
Just eye control and things, and he's just going to be a really good player. I mean, they had some RPOs built into that side of the field, and he had to cover those guys. He got them on the ground. They're tough plays to defend. The way they packaged the plays, did a good job of hitting. I told you, the quarterback is a really good player, and he could throw those balls. And they have 2 wideouts that are going to get drafted. I mean, they got good players, and so I just wanted to give Malachi a chance to mature. I want to play Dan, show confidence in him, and continue to play all those guys that play winning football.
Michael Wiggins being up today.
No, Michael played a good bit. I don't know how many snaps he played, but Michael played. Thanks, guys.